Hey everyone, Thomas Murray Fan 11 here. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I usually do on this channel. You know the Unlucky Tug's video, Unanswerable Thomas Questions? Well, I'm going to see if I can answer some of them. So let's go.
What's up, YouTube?
We're here to bring you a very different kind of video today. This is a little something we like to call Unanswerable Thomas Questions.
Dun dun dun.
And what exactly is an unanswerable Thomas question, Zio?
Well, my friend, an unanswerable Thomas question are things that no casual fan of the show would actually think about. Some of those in-depth things when you've seen all 19 seasons about 70 times. These questions just come into your brain and start to haunt you and make you stay up all night and you think for hours and hours, wait a minute, what is this? How has this happened? What is this? I'm confused. So basically, we're going to try to explain that for you.
Sounds like fun. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. All right, 3, 2, 1, go!
If Thomas was to eat a cheeseburger, what would happen?
Okay, if Thomas was to eat a cheeseburger, it would burn. If Thomas put it in his mouth and ate it and chewed it and swallowed it, it would go into his smoke box, then go into his firebox, and it would burn up like a coal.
Would he swallow it and poop out underneath the tracks? Or would it just go into his firebox
Yes.
and burn up?
Could Thomas drink water from the water tower through the hose like a straw?
No, because, well, maybe. I mean, it depends on the size of the water tower hose. Like, Thomas's mouth is pretty big. I mean, look at him. His mouth is gigantic. He can swallow his driver. Anyway, yeah, Thomas could drink that. He could use it like a straw. Yeah, he could.
What are the train's faces made of?
The train's faces are made of flesh.
Is it flesh or is it like a rubbery material? If I cut Thomas's face with a knife, would he bleed?
Yes.
How did their faces get there?
The faces got there when the engine was built. Like, the person who built the engine had to design a face on. They had to design a face and then had it specially put on the engine.
Did it just magically appear after the engine is built? Or do the designers of the engine have a face in mind when they draw the blueprints?
How do the engines get their smoke boxes cleaned out?
The engines get their smoke boxes cleaned out as their faces are attached to hinges on the side of their smoke box, and it can just be opened up like a door if the driver grabs on the engine's nose.
Are their faces on hinges and open up like a door?
Yeah.
Why are the faces gray of all colors?
So there won't be any controversy. Like if the engine's faces were peach colored, black people would probably think that's racist or something. Like Nia, that's gonna be in Big World Big Adventures. She's African, but her face is still gray. So yeah.
Why do some characters have actual faces while others are meshed into their bodies, like Annie, Clarabelle?
Well, Annie and Clarabelle's faces are just meshed just to make them look normal like regular coaches.
Like Harold.
Annie and Clarabelle and the slip coach's faces are part of their bodies. Why isn't Henrietta's?
Henrietta's isn't because, like, at the beginning, Henrietta didn't actually have a face. She just got a face recently, and, like, they probably weren't thinking straight, so they just made it look normal. Plus, it would probably look a bit creepy if Henrietta's face was like that, like Annie and Clarabelle's.
What's the point of Henrietta's rear platform where her face is now?
Nothing. There is no purpose of it.
People can't get into her on that end because her face is just blocking where the door would have been, rendering that platform absolutely pointless.
If Henrietta or any coach were to open their mouth really wide, could a person crawl through their mouth into the coach? If not, how far into the mouth can one reach before they hit the
Let me see. No, a person can't actually fit into Henrietta's mouth. I mean, if someone actually did go into Henrietta's mouth, they'd hit the back wall of the coach. They wouldn't go any further.
Actually, Nick, I'm glad you bring that up, because there's an interesting theory about that.
Oh.
See, if I were to climb through Annie's mouth, I actually pop out of Clarabelle's mouth.
Oh.
So just imagine Annie and Clarabelle are side by side. If I were to crawl through Annie's mouth and go through a good bit, my head and upper torso would be out of Clarabelle's mouth, but my legs and feet would be still dangling out of Annie's.
That's absolutely impossible because Annie and Clarabelle are two separate coaches, unless Annie somehow has a face on either side of her.
What is behind the truck's face? It's just
Behind the truck's faces is just a wall.
beside that flat single layer of wood.
If a truck was loaded with sand or something and they sneezed or coughed, would sand pour out of their mouth?
No, sand would not pour out of their mouth because the truck's faces are just attached to the wall.
How does it always work out that the trucks face forward when they're a part of a train?
Just to make it more interesting so that when the trucks are causing trouble, it will make sense that they're facing forward so they can pull the engine down a hill and make them crash.
Isn't there any case where they might get turned around in a shunting yard and have to travel backwards?
Do the trucks make friends with each other, or do they see it as a pointless effort because they know they'll get split up at the yard in some?
The trucks do make friends. Like, they talk in the yard, but then the next you know, they're shunted away. And that's probably why they cause trouble.
Point and probably never see each other again. You know, that's gotta be depressing. It must be hard to be a truck. No wonder they cause so many accidents.
Do the trucks have names?
I think they have names.
If not, do they give each other names?
Actually, Tug, they do have names.
Oh, really?
Really?
And I'm gonna go through that list right now. Brain, Bullstruck, Chester, Chump, Crack, Craig, Krusty, Francis, Greg, Muffin, Omar, Peachy, Pinky, Ralph, Spanky, Tobias, Tomas, Zippy, Stumpy, Randall, Dolan, Doogie, Slappy, and Ivan.
That is not true. He just made all them up.
How are some things on Sodor alive and some things aren't?
Coincidence.
Like, why is Cranky alive, but the Big Mickey crane isn't?
Well, Big Mickey is actually alive now. If you see the season 21 episode, Cranky at the end of the docks or New Crane on Dock, I forgot what it's called. But there's a new episode of season 21 where Big Mickey appears in, and he has a face now.
Bulstrode, Captain, and Skip are the only boats with faces, but there are millions of others that don't. Who decides what comes alive and what doesn't?
Nobody decides what comes alive and what doesn't. It's just a coincidence.
Where do Skip's wheels go when he's waterbound?
They magically disappear, or they just go into him when he goes into the water, or maybe they're attached to a special screw, or with a special kind of system or mechanism that when Skip rolls into the water, they just disappear somewhere.
Do they just fall off?
What is Sailor John's last name?
Vosky.
Well, he just answered it there.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are the Duke and Duchess's names?
The Duke and Duchess. I think the Duchess is named Diana and the Duke is David. I don't know. That's just a guess. Because I don't know.
Actually, their names are Duke and Duchess, respectively.
No, they're not.
They were actually dogs, and then the small railway engines from the hills turned them into humans.
No, that's not true at all. And those railway engines aren't magic, and Marion is crazy.
Marion wasn't crazy. They were magic.
No, they weren't.
How do the operations with Spencer on Sodor work?
The Duke and Duchess have to go and ask the Fat Controller before they let Spencer go anywhere.
Like, when Duke and Duchess are staying on Sodor, do they have absolute freedom to run Spencer wherever on the line? Or do they have to clear everything with Sir Topham Hatt and the railway heads?
Where does Spencer sleep when he's on Sodor?
There's a shed somewhere beside the summer house.
Is there a shed for him somewhere near the summer house?
Yes.
Or does a steam team member just get kicked out of Tidmouth sheds to...
Well, a steam team gets kicked out sometimes, like Emily. Emily got kicked out a few times to make room for Spencer. But that's only a few times.
If that's the case, why would Spencer stay so far away from the summer house?
Spencer would stay so far from the summer house so he can be near Gordon and boast about how awesome his job is, how he's so fast and awesome, just to make Gordon jealous.
Isn't the summer house like near Wellsworth or something?
What year does the show take place in?
The show takes place in like the 1950s. That's why there's no cell phones or anything modern. It definitely does not take place in modern time. I mean, they're still using steam engines. So yeah, it takes place in like olden times, like the 1950s or 40s.
Is it modern day, or is it the 1950s? because no one seems to have a computer, cell phone, especially in the case where they could really use it when they crash.
Is Birdie the only bus on Sodor?
No, Bertie's not the only bus on Sodor. There are other buses on Sodor as well. And in the Thomas and Bertie Great Race episode where they met for the first time and had their race, there are more buses in the yard. So yeah, there are more buses.
Why do we never see others?
Well,
The reason why you don't see other buses is because like Bertie's like the main bus who like has more of a role. I mean, there's no point in showing other buses because like people would probably just get bored of them or something. And like Bertie's really entertaining, especially when he has a race with Thomas.
see, in Thomas Bertie and the Great Race, you obviously didn't see that there were more buses in the yard. So, no, there are more buses on Sodor.
Yes.
Just stop. Stop.
Sorry. Why do Connor and Caitlin have Irish accents if they're American engines?
Because their voices really suit them, and I think their voice actors are Irish as well.
Where the flip does Hero live?
Hero lives in Japan because at the end of Hero of the Rails, he went back to his home after Thomas saved him, and he just comes to Sodor every now and again just to help out on the railway. But he does live in Japan, and he just comes back to Sodor every now and then to just work or see Thomas. And at the end of Hero of the Rails, he did promise to see Thomas again. So yeah, that's why he always comes back now and again because he's really grateful to Thomas.
Sodor, Japan, the mainland?
Who operates Cranky, and how does anyone even get inside of him?
Nobody operates Cranky, and nobody gets inside of him. He just operates himself.
What about Marion?
Nobody operates Marion either. She just operates herself.
She doesn't even have front windows.
And not to mention Kevin, I mean,
Nobody drives Kevin because like Kevin's too small. Nobody could even fit inside him, I think.
who's driving him?
Why does Glyn sound just like Scarlo?
Glyn sounds like Scarloey and Bert sounds like Sir Handel because like they probably just ran out of voices and they didn't know what else to use. And Scarloey sounds more like an old person and Glyn is like an old engine, so they probably made Glyn sound like Scarloey because like they're both old engines, and we haven't seen Scarloey in a while anyway, so people would probably forget that Scarloey sounded like the same way as Glyn. And Bert probably sounds like Sir Handel for the same reason.
And Bert likes Sir Handel?
Because Keith Wickham does too many characters and has officially run out of voices. I mean, look at The Adventure Begins. He practically talked to himself the entire time.
No, he didn't.
Well, that answers that.
So that, guys, was the Unlucky Tugs video and answerable Thomas questions, and I answered them. I bet almost everything I said was actually false, but I gave it a go. Thanks for watching.